Hi guys, and welcome to another trucker branding video. We're in my beautiful Volvo FH 2023 model. Fantastic, comfortable, luxury, my baby. And we're currently parked at Morrison's. Just on another vlog there. Today I'm not feeling the best, so excuse me. But I thought I'd get 2 videos out instead of 1. This video has been requested millions of times in my DMs, so I thought I'll cover it just now. So what it is how did I become a HGV driver at the age of 21, and did I find it hard? What's insurance like? Things like that. So without further ado, we'll jump straight into it. So relevant experience, I'd say. I worked for Stagecoach when I was 18. I applied for them not thinking I'd get the job because, again, insurance and all that stuff. So I applied to join Stagecoach as a trainee bus driver when I was 18 and was successful. I passed all 3 theory tests and I then went into the Stagecoach training school where I was put behind the wheel to basically learn to drive a bus. Now, I managed that just fine. I passed my course with the fantastic Katie and Steve, best people ever. Passed my course, became a bus driver. Now that's driving big vehicles, isn't it? So for 2 years I drove, well, 2 years I had bus and coach experience, but I worked for Stagecoach for about 1.5 years, and then I went on to a private coach company. So basically 2 years of bus and coach driving experience there. I then decided that I was going to go and get my class 1 license. Now, a lot of people were trying to put me off the idea, saying you'll never get a job, you're only, at this time I was 21, you'll never get a job, you're only 21, you need to be 25 for insurance, this, that and the next thing. So here's me, a 20-year-old, 21-year-old, not giving up on his dreams, and I said, so you know what, I'm going for it. So how I funded my HGV was I took out a credit card and I paid my HGV license off with my credit card. Maybe a stupid thing to do, but hey ho, I've got a job now, wouldn't have this job without it. So it paid off, didn't it? So I paid for that. I went ahead and done a week's worth of intensive course, because obviously I went from bus to lorry, which you've got some sort of experience. So I only did 4 days with the instructor. So I went out with the instructor for 4 days and luckily passed my test. Now, how did I find the training on the HGVs? I found it easy-ish. Now, going from a rigid bus to a Arctic lorry, where the trailer and the unit is separate, was a challenge, especially when you realise how big these things are. You've got to watch the wheels on the curb, you've got to do this, that and the next thing, right? So training was easy, but very intense, I would personally say. It's not easy to drive a lorry. It does take time to kind of perfect your skill. So for training for me, I'm going to say it was good. The instructor was nice, the examiner was nice. What better combination could you ask for? So, passed my test. Now, what did I do as soon as I passed my test? I was obviously looking forward to getting onto the HGVs. However, no lorry company would take me on because I was only 21. So I remember passing my test, really excited to get behind the wheel of lorries, seeing my current company's lorries going past, thinking I want to work for them, I want to work for them, I want to get on the lorries, I want to get on the lorries fast. And to be honest, I got so disheartened because no one would take me on. At least what I thought. The thing I was doing wrong was I was applying for full-time HGV class jobs. I was ignoring the agencies like Driver Hire, B Personnel, all these different agencies. I was ignoring them. I didn't realise that I could get with an agency. I didn't even know an agency existed. That's how sad I was, right? So for about 6 months, I didn't know what an agency was and all this stuff, and I'm just losing hope. I'm like, I'm not going to get a class 1 job. I've got no experience, all that stuff. So then, luckily, a friend got in touch with me and says, have you tried an agency? I was like, what's an agency? Like, they can get you to companies that are looking for emergency workers and stuff. I was like, really? And he's like, yes. So I phoned the agency up that exact same day, and I told them, I was like, I've passed my test, I've had no experience, I'm really looking to get my class 1 going, and they turned around and said to me, come in for a training run. So what this is you don't get paid for it. You go out with a mentor. So it's a day that you don't get paid for. You go out with someone and they assess you basically, just to see if you know the basics. And they'll just phone the company and be like, yeah, that's fine. Some agencies won't do that. Ask for it. Just ask to go out with someone for a day. They'll arrange it. It's the best thing you can do. So anyway, the agency then were happy with me, and they contracted me out to a company called DR McLeod in Inverness. I cannot speak more highly of DR McLeod than I can, you know what I mean? Best company out there, fantastic management in Inverness, fantastic crowd in Inverness. They teach the younger generation how to drive perfectly. I made some epic tit-ups, and do you know what? DR McLeod in Inverness, Grant, Robert, everyone, James, the whole shebang, thank you for teaching me everything that you taught me. I made some epic tit-ups. I scraped a trailer. I didn't know about the suspension thing going up and down. Sometimes I found it hard getting the Susies off. I got taught tips and tricks. So what people say about learning on the job is true. So anyway, I got contracted out to DFDS, which is DR McLeod, and I worked for them. I think it was about 7 weeks. Every week for 7 weeks, I worked for them. Some days were odd days, some days were full weeks. And I was doing the run from Inverness down to Lark Hall with them. Gave me the experience. It gave me really good insight into Class 1 driving. I fell in love with it. And anytime they needed a driver, I was constant like, oh, I hope the FDS are looking, I hope the FDS are looking. And obviously being 21 at that point, I was getting experience on Class 1, which is the key word here, experience. Employers are looking for you to have experience, some sort of experience behind you. Don't be fussy with what you take. Take Class 2, take Class 1, take what you can, get your tackle things, you know, you're learning every day, right? Take what they give you and just do it. Some runs might be boring or whatever, but again, experience is what you need to get a job with a company. So I had 6 months with driver hire. That's who I was with, 6 months roughly with them. I then applied for a full-time lorry driving job again with a company that I applied for beforehand when I had no experience. So the company that I'm with now is a company I applied for first time and I didn't get the job, unfortunately, because I had no experience. Went to the agency for 6 months, got experience, came back to the company that refused me, applied for the job, and I got it. I got the job. So I'm now in a full-time Class 1 lorry driving position. I'm in a brand new truck, a 2023 Volvo, and fingers crossed I've not had an accident. So yeah, what my tips and tricks are for you guys is, again, go to an agency, sign up with them, ask for a mentor run. It's just some guy that will sit with you and you just make sure that you're confident with everything. Any questions you've got, you can ask him. It's just a bit of reassurance, really, so you're not just getting chucked out there, and if you don't know something, you're not phoning the company up and be like, I don't know how to do this. It's always better to go first time with another driver, just for them to teach you a few basics, because they know what they're talking about. After that, I was put out on my own, and do you know what? For the first couple of weeks at DR McLeod, I screwed up. I didn't know how much room I needed to take and all that stuff, and again, fantastic people, taught me everything in the yard, taught me how to strap things in securely, gave me some tasks on flatbeds, curtain siders, fridges, and then that gave me the experience of not only the driving but securing the loads as well, which is another thing. Try and get the experience of strapping things as well, because that'll go in your favor a lot more. Other things I did as well was take pictures of the types of loads I was doing. For example, the lorries I drove, the loads I was doing, how I secured them. And when I went to apply for employment, so I was like, I've driven these, they've secured all these types of loads, and it reassures the employer. It shows them that you know what you're doing, you know your shit. So definitely get onto your agencies, guys. You will get insured. You will, trust me, you'll get insured. And that's another point I want to get on real quick. A lot of people say companies won't insure you because you're under 25. That's false. There is something which I've been told, which is what my current company have, and that is if you are below the age of 25 but have a clean license and have held your car license for 2 years, right? So you've held your car license for 2 years, it's clean, there's no more than 3 driving license points, then you're fine. You'll get insured. However, usually if you're below 25 and you've got 6 points on your license, you'll get refused until you're 25. That's how that whole thing works, which I've only just found out recently. So get onto the agencies, they'll insure you, whatever. Agencies, I don't know how they manage it, but they can insure anyone. So get onto your agencies, folks, honestly. Any other questions you've got, DM me. This video's probably all over the place, but I hope you've managed to get the points from it as best as you can, because I just rumble on and rumble on and rumble on. But I hope that gives you an understanding, guys. Chase your dreams, go to an agency, get behind the wheel, get that experience of driving and securing your load. Go and apply for a job with a hauler, and you'll most likely get a job, guys. The haulage industry, you're never going to struggle. Never going to struggle. Myself, I've looked for jobs all over the UK. I've been offered a good few jobs. I've been offered a job in Ireland if I ever wanted it, with a company that do fridge work. I've kind of refused that just now because I'm happy where I am, but the door's always open for me. And I had a bit of experience through in a place called Nurm with a company, another good company, just what the work wasn't for me. But again, experience. So yeah. Any questions you guys have got, pop them in my DMs on TikTok or comment them below. If any veteran drivers that have been doing it longer than me have anything to add, feel free. And guys, thanks for watching again. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I go live most nights. And I will see you guys in the next video. That's how I became a HGV driver at 21.